and an obligation to seek and obtain permission to receive money from foreign governments prior to any engagement with them. It does not appear to us that that was ever sought, nor did he ever get that permission. We will jointly be doing a letter for a final determination on that. That will need to come from the Department of Army as well as the Inspector General of at the Department of Defense. And if that money was received by General Flynn, and we believe that it was, that money needs to be recovered. That final determination, again, will have to come from the Department of the Army as well as the Department of Defense. But as a former military officer, you simply cannot take money from Russia, Turkey, or anybody else. And it appears as if he did take that money. It was inappropriate, and there are repercussions for the violation of law. Personally, I see no information or no data to support the notion that General Flynn complied with the law, and that is he was supposed to seek permission and receive permission from both the Secretary of State and the Secretary of the Army prior to traveling to Russia to not only accept that payment, but to engage in that activity. I see no evidence that he actually did that.
So, and you think, Congressman, that this could be punishable?
Yeah, I think it can, but I think it definitely. That's why I cited the code. But that's going to be left up to others to decide. I just wanted to know what his exposure is. But clearly, I agree with the chairman. I mean, he was supposed to get permission, and he was supposed to report, and he didn't. Period. I mean, there's no evidence of it.
We're not here to make the final determination.
Right.
What we're going to do jointly is send the letter to the Department of the Army, the Comptroller specifically, as well as the Inspector General there at the Department of Defense. At some point, they need to make that final determination. One of the remedies is to recover the money that was paid. Above and beyond that, I don't know. This is something General Flynn, before he ever joined the Trump administration, this is something General Flynn was supposed to do as a former officer. I don't know. In fact, I'm fairly curious as to how widespread this is. No former military officer is allowed to accept payments from a foreign government. And my guess is that's probably not the first time this has happened, and it does concern me. The lead investigative body is the Select Committee on Intelligence. We have been pursuing this portion of it, the payments that happened prior to the inauguration of President Trump. But the lead on this general investigation is the Select Committee on Intelligence, and I'll support what the Select Committee needs. We can play a role in certain parts, but it's more of a supportive role than anything else.
So is that a no on calling?
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Will you issue any subpoenas to get these records that you're looking for?
We haven't had to issue a subpoena so far. I mean, they've been cooperative at the Department of Defense and the State Department and the White House. But in this particular case, the law requires him to seek permission at from the Secretary of State and from the Department of Defense, and those are the entities of which we've been seeking information and have received information. The response we're getting is there is no information, and that we believe is the potential violation.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.